This NFL Props Week 4 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
This is Coach June Jones, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Mere hours before the fucking Cowboys.
Oh wow, Ryan! Are you done wearing a jersey, or
what do you mean?
You're gonna put a jersey on later? How are we feeling?
Well, I don't play for the team.
Oh really?
Yeah, important to know. B, I am
you just buy the jerseys.
I am wearing a New York Giants t-shirt.
Yes.
C, the game has not started yet, has it?
No, it has not kicked off. Rocking a blue hat, maybe in support of the Giants. I think CJ's mic might be off. We are joined by the bet detective, aka the laddie daddy, aka the the Deli Llama, CJ Sullivan himself, aka aka the man in the box,
the Bombino for baseball playoffs.
What's happening, CJ?
Nothing great back here in the weekend. It's a little giant blue for you, a little bit. There was also the Circa Millions. I was RIP, and I had to send.
Are you celebrating?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, now you can only.
I'm locked in.
Unfortunately, did get knocked out of the Survivor. Right. Ryan and I did not get knocked out of Survivor last week, so that's our running gag. As we keep saying,
last week
we didn't get knocked out.
Right.
Now, 2 weeks ago, obviously different story. So, but now you can focus on just Circa Millions.
Absolutely, I had a proper send off on my bottom line bombs earlier. Little boys to men.
Break some glass on a ship.
Yeah, absolutely. There was. It was a beautiful send off.
Saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Yep. That people used to have sex to boys to men.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
People don't understand how much Boys to Men dominated the airwaves. There was like an 18-month block, like Duran style in the 80s. Like that was all you could hear was Boys to Men.
Oh. I mean, it's
straight up Philly back again.
Motown
I just
Philly.
have memories of like the late '90s Jersey Shores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Popping between that and 112.
And then that End of the Road song came, which I played today, obviously.
End of the road,
which was proper for the road to 10 million, you know. But
very sad.
Yeah, it was sad. Well, it was graduations, and then it got into funerals and death. So then those paths like kind of crossed. So I mean, you'd always be at a party, or whatever, high school, and some girl would be crying because her friend died in a drunk driving accident or something. Like, don't play this. We're like, all right, we get it. We all knew her too, but come on, we're 16. We're trying to do some underage drinking here. Stop bumming us out.
Have fun.
Yeah, stop bumming us out. We like Boys to Men.
That's totally normal. Just dudes listening to Boys.
Yeah, listen to Boys and Men in the basement. That's all. And then there was the baritone guy would come in, girl.
Come together.
Yeah.
By the way, I think a video was going viral of the Backstreet Boys doing like some sort of Vegas show or something where they're all just like old busted versions of themselves out of shape, and they're doing the same queer dances.
So
like
when boy bands become men bands, it gets sad, right? Because
it's creepy.
Well, yeah, like when you're
like
21 and you're frosted tips,
sure,
maybe it works. But when you're like 42,
no, thank you.
Thinking about your 401ks,
yeah, you're not sexy anymore.
Shout out to the chat, lit as always. YouTube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. That subscribe button. Japan checking in.
Yes.
Let's go. Live show at work. I ain't doing shit for the rest of the day. Fuck those customers.
Wow.
Japan, sounds like you are a perfect candidate for Degen University. Of course, get in your applications. We will be announcing our latest alumni of Degen University. It's pretty easy. You just go to degen.university and explain why you are a true degenerate. And then we will actually mail you a diploma. We print it out. We get it signed. Send it over. And then you get a hat, you get a cap and a gown, and you become and really it's a prestige thing. So get in, submit, and we'll see the next graduating class coming up.
It's a nice cap.
It is. Degen University cap is fire. Some great merch there. Get some man in the box merch while you're over there. Kramer, we got a lot of props to get to. Of course, if you're getting out on prop sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, Ryan was trying to rush us into the studio. He's got a hard out. This guy's wheeling and dealing. I said, oh man, I don't have time to prepare. Thankfully, I got the Rhythm app. I just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. I hit props. They got a whole list of juicy AI generated props. Nothing gets me more excited than when artificial intelligence is used to take down the sportsbook. Get your free 7-day trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. I'll give out the first prop for me.
By the way, Sean, before you get started,
yes.
because it's relevant to Rhythm, and maybe you should write them a handwritten thank you note, because I received a DM from someone who said that Sean's really mailing it in this year using that Rhythm app.
What? How dare they?
I wasn't gonna say because it wasn't all. I mean, he's one of these belligerent DMers who only sends me angry things that we didn't do on the show.
He's probably the guy who was mad that I give out kicking props.
So I'm kind of validating him right now. But it did make me laugh because I was just envisioning you taking your Rhythm model and rubbing it on your belly to mix it with the gut, make some picks.
Yeah,
anyway.
like I don't just blindly play the Rhythm stuff. I look at what they like, and if there's some stuff that I also like.
Also a good selling point for the Rhythm app.
Right. I blindly say I don't care. Rhythm did the work for me.
It's like
there's always a kid at. We've all been a part of a group project where maybe you're not pulling your weight. Rhythm is the guy showing up early and often, asking the teacher if there's homework, is there extra credit. Rhythm's a real brown noser.
Every time I see Patty C use AI, I say, am I the smart one or is he the smart one?
Patty C is the smart one. Well, this one, Rhythm gave me this idea. I looked into it and I liked it.
I looked into it.
I checked their numbers.
Due diligence.
I'm tired of doing my own research. If we're honest, the whole entire past 4 years are do your own research.
Yeah.
No, I didn't go to med school. I'm not doing research.
Yeah.
Why did the burden of research for news, medicine, why is it all on me now? I researched the NFL, some college football, and some college basketball. I don't need to be doing more research. All right. Anyway, Joe Burrow over 10.5 rushing yards. Love this spot. Smash! I don't know if Rhythm has the desperation angle in their model, but for me, desperate quarterbacks run the football, right? Because and Joe Burrow has, as well as he looked against the Commanders defense, he's been a little hesitant to throw the ball downfield. Would not be surprised if he decides to run. Here are over 10.5 rushing yards, very doable for Burrow. This is the three quarterbacks going up against the Panthers so far this season. Herbert ran for 18. Derek Carr, who barely runs, I feel like, ran for 13. Minshew ran for 14. This is a smash spot. And just I would have liked the desperation angle just to begin with, but you throw in the history of the Panthers letting up rushing yards to the quarterback. Feels like a great spot. Joey B over 10.5 rushing yards.
Nice.
Thanks.
I like the angle.
Kramer, what do you got?
Let's see. Where do I start? Well, all right. CJ Stroud's on the graphic. We'll start there.
Okay.
CJ Stroud to throw an interception. We've seen. I mean, at this point, 3 games into the season, maybe we can walk back the CJ Stroud is the next coming.
Wow. Ryan's just got a full glass of haterade.
Well, I think when you see a quarterback get completely unraveled, like Brian Flores just did to CJ Stroud, it allows the next guy to see what worked and what didn't. And what generally seems to be working with CJ Stroud is playing man. And so what do the Jags do? They play man. They've been doing it poorly. They did it pretty poorly last week against the Bills. But certainly like the idea of learning a little bit, confusing CJ Stroud. I mean, basically, if you go into it, when he's having to come off his first read, he's been just a bad quarterback this year, like flat out bad, like bottom of the league type bad. So his interception price plus 110. That's part of what makes it so nice. Oh my God. And I do think not having his boy toy Tank Dell and maybe forcing some stuff to Steph Diggs.
It does
could be a problem.
Everyone thought I was crazy. Oh, I said Steph Diggs is not a positive bringing him into that team.
No, you were right on that.
And it does seem like, I've heard some rumblings from some film guys that like the mistakes he's making are when he's trying to force feed Stephon Diggs.
All right,
like they had a good thing going. You didn't need to add. You weren't missing Steph Diggs. Texans.
His interception should not be plus money.
All right, Ryan with a nice little hater
and remember, I do have CJ Stroud to lead the league in interceptions, 48 to 1.
Unrelated, I'm sure. Right?
Unrelated. That's a tremendous price, though. CJ respects the deli.
The deli llamas.
I love a number.
Wonderful number.
Love a number.
It's a really good number.
Yeah,
it's a good.
We got CJ Kramer. Bring out CJ's deli number thing. We got to get this going. We got to. I mean, we paid for it.
Whoa.
On Amazon. CJ, pull a number. Just so people can see the action of the deli.
The deli llama. Let me pull up a number. And
there you go.
It's the real deli number.
And I will
look
give
at
you.
You can see the U.
All right, I can give a 4. I can roll off.
Do you have a 4 in there somewhere?
Remember,
hard 2s.
If you're not ready, if you're not ready to order when you get up to the counter,
Right.
you can go fuck yourself.
There's 2 lines. There's lines for people who know what they want. And there's lines for people who don't know what they want. And once you get over that don't know what you want, you can't get back over to the ones you want. So you better know what you want. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway,
if you haven't ever been to the East Coast, or I guess it's probably not the same anymore because everyone's soft. But
I know.
You used to get yelled at at the deli if
There's
you weren't.
no chit chat. There's no like, hey, how's it work? Hop back there, any of that bullshit.
Can you go light on the oil?
Right now, you don't know what you're on.
The Italian deli in Eagle Rock has a bit of that.
I like it.
Yeah, they have a bit of an edge. A lot of signs up. Don't lean on this. Don't lean on that. Make sure you get the number. This is not where you put the empty numbers.
Yeah.
Like the more signs at a place like that, the more prickly the staff is, and usually the better the food is.
They've been putting up with bullshit for a long time.
You can't be prickly and deal with that.
My sister and her college friends one time had to pick them up. They were a quick stop at Gino's because they had got some kind of layover, and I brought them there. And there were these college girls who had no idea, no idea what they were doing at Gino's Steaks. And 2 got sent to the back of the line for asking questions. One girl asked if they had a vegetarian, anything vegetarian. This is way back too, before I was even popular. And they go, veterinarian? Who wants a veterinarian?
No animals are sick back
absolutely,
here.
Absolutely, exactly.
My wife, who is a veterinarian, I said to her, I don't remember one vegetarian growing up.
Now.
I go, before I moved to California, I didn't know a vegetarian. Well, except my aunt, kind of my crazy aunt. That was the only one. But other than that, like I could count.
Mm-hmm.
I could count the vegetarians I knew on my index finger. One,
for
CJ.
Sure.
One.
You don't make friends with salad, as the Simpsons famously sung.
All right, props. What do you got, CJ? Kick us off.
All right,
here.
I'll start off with the quarterbacks. You guys are going to quarterbacks, so we're playing that drinking game still.
No,
right?
I like that.
Do the segment.
Oh yeah.
Because I usually don't do quarterbacks, but
they're fun.
It's a big revenge week this week. There's so many different revenge angles here. And I'm not going with the Andy Dalton revenge angle because I think he has revenge against half the league.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bengals drafted him and all, but he played for so many teams.
It's true. A lot of revenge in his blood.
Right. And a lot of that's just smoke. But where I believe it is when it comes to King of Petty, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yes.
Aaron Rodgers already done long interviews about his buddy, Nathaniel Hackett.
That's true.
It's like,
he's a great friend. Good friend.
Great
Love him.
friend,
Love him.
and how he just can't wait to stick up for him this week against Sean Payton, who can't believe he put his announcer hat on and threw him under the bus and said correctly that Nathaniel Hackett was a bad coach for the Denver Broncos.
No place for that.
Right. And so, and Hackett's I kind of like the cell phone. Remember last week when Kirk Herbstreit was like, wow, all of a sudden Nathaniel Hackett's a good coach. Now he's got Aaron Rodgers. Isn't that interesting? Thinking he was making fun of the haters, but he just made their point.
Just incited them.
Right. No, that's exactly what we're saying. He needs Aaron Rodgers to be a good coach.
Yeah. You really led us down the path of that one.
Fucking dumb.
Yeah. So Hackett's probably like, all right, thanks, Kirk. I don't need you to defend me, but I do need Aaron Rodgers to defend me. He's that guy who has the older brother he'll fight you. You know, he'll get him in the schoolyard. He picks the fight that he can't defend. So Aaron Rodgers plus money over 1.5 passing touchdowns in this game because now he's not been throwing a lot of touchdowns. Obviously, the Jets run the ball, but what Aaron Rodgers loves is a condescending smirk.
Yeah.
And he loves looking to the sideline. Yeah. You guys showed the clip I know in the thread this week when he stared down his own sideline in a playoff game because he wanted Lazard to get the ball or something like that, you know? Like he just wants to stare someone down. So he cannot wait to stare down Sean Payton. Over 1.5 passing touchdowns is plus 115 right now. I can easily get a couple touchdowns in there, just even if it's within 5 yards. I like the Jets a lot this week anyway, but I think Rodgers runs it up on them.
I mean, I do think there is a defensive Hackett angle that makes sense if he can pull it off. Because
I'm more on the Broncos side, but I could even see him.
Me too.
The 2 touchdowns.
It's more just I could see Aaron Rodgers wanting to show that bad franchise that Nathaniel Hackett
but also doesn't. I mean, don't you think Sean Payton has a little revenge in mind with Aaron Rodgers? Keep my coordinator's name out of your mouth. Like, who the fuck do you think you're? You think you're Will Smith? You're gonna come slap me? I don't know about that one.
I thought you were gonna go a different direction.
No.
In recent news, it seems like Will Smith has done more than just smack brothers.
Wow. Right.
What? Allegedly.
Recent news.
Recent news and allegedly. I don't know. Something with baby oil.
I'm going back to this one. Zach Ertz over 2.5 receptions. I'll call it 3 receptions because I'm seeing 2.5 receptions with some crazy juice. I'll just call it 3 receptions. But Austin Eckler being out, I think, is going to create some massive opportunities for Zach Ertz in this scheme. I mean, he's had 3, 4, and then 5 catches last game. As much as I do like the Cardinals in this spot, also a revenge game for Zach Ertz going up against his former Cardinals team who thought he was done. Cliff Kingsbury helping him get his revenge on Jonathan Gannon. I just think Zach Ertz, if you watch this offense, he clearly is the safety blanket, the escape route, and Eckler had some of that role in the passing game. Basically, the easy check down or the easy design stuff. And I think with Eckler out, Zach Ertz benefits. All over Zach Ertz over catches. Call it 2.5 with juice, or I'll just call it 3. Kramer.
All right, so I'll stay with tight end. Let's see what we're doing here, CJ.
Yeah, I see.
All right, so Pat Freiermuth has emerged as the safety blanket or second passing option in an offense that doesn't pass a lot, but he has gotten 4 catches in every single game. He's gone over his receptions prop total in every single game. So they moved it from 2.5 to 3.5 this week, but you're getting plus 140 to the over. Pat Freiermuth going against. Let me pull this up. Going against the team. Give me some number and music. Going against the team that is near the bottom in the league, and I'm gonna little early for me to be using some DVOA metrics. Here,
right? Come on, you told yourself.
Week 4.
Stick to your diet.
Week 4. I started getting into the numbers, and I was like, "Hey, I do like looking at these numbers. I do like using these numbers for good." Just a tremendous matchup here for Freiermuth. He's already been, like I said, the reliable target. He's gone over this total in every single game. You can get plus 140 on this. I would consider appending this with a standalone anytime touchdown as well, potentially this week. I know we all like the Steelers, but
there's some
their anytime touchdowns are like just inherently juiced because they don't score a lot.
They have 2 passing touchdowns. I got a long shot angle for the Degen parlay tied to their passing thing, but I'm with you. Like I just, who is this Colts defense? Like they really got carved up. I mean, Caleb Williams self-sabotages a ton of those drives.
Colts 27th in DVOA defending the tight end.
I mean, I think the easy, obvious stuff is to play Najee, but I think like because they're so low priced, the passing stuff is intriguing. So all Steelers all day. CJ, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll go tight end with you. If you just to play the game. See,
Follow the tight end.
I bring a lot of options. The 15 plays are scripted, but I also have a play chart that I'm also allowed to. If I don't like to look at it at the line.
I love the idea that not only you're scripting your plays there, but you also like script some lines. Like, all right, Sean's probably going to say Zach Ertz, so then I'm gonna remind people I have these like having
got to anticipate.
Well, a lot of people don't realize, the NFL is scripted, but so is this podcast. Every once in a while we go off book, and it throws CJ a little bit. He's used to, he's a real letter of the law guy with the script.
This thing's already happened in my mind all week long. I mean, I've played this game.
Kramer missed rehearsal, but we should be able to get through.
You don't win the game on Sunday, Sean. You know that.
No.
It's during the week where you
Wednesday and Thursday.
Right, Wednesday and Thursdays where the victories come in. So speaking of returning, no one did, but I just wanted to sort of segue in there. My favorite games of the year are these Saints Falcons games. It is an absolute
hate week.
Yeah, it's a hate week. It's a Freaknik down there. It's a celebration bowl. They should have
Freak off.
They
should rename it. Now that we can't use freak off.
I know, right? They should get that thing back. If anyone, the government should donate 1,000 bottles of baby oil to it. It should be to this game. I just about it real quick. I've tried to avoid that story. I had a lawyer blame Costco for it.
Yes.
He's like, he likes to buy in bulk. What can you say?
It looked like an SNL skit, or like a Mad TV skit.
I mean, just reading what the lawyer said, it's like, dude, you're not doing me any favors. How much baby oil do you need for an orgy? Not that he was having orgies inappropriately. Like it was everything he said made it seem worse.
And if you click a couple more times, you realize that potentially the baby oil is a cover for a different kind of liquid that maybe doesn't just lubricate you on the outside.
You have to know when to
but
Lots to unpack there.
Bet detective will have to go on that.
We'll save it for the authorities.
Might be too hot for the bet detective. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Diddy. If he ends up, dangling from a rope, we better keep you away.
He's going to slip out of this thing.
Whoa. Well done.
I did see a meme of him.
That's professional.
They did the Terminator 2 when he goes through the prison, through the bars, the liquid metal, but it's puffed out his face and the baby oil going through the bars. Pretty good. Anyway, returning tight end, Freaknik baby oil bowl. Taysom Hill is returning to action out there. And there was so much talk preseason about how they wanted to make him expand his role, especially around the goal line. A sharp bet was for him to lead the league in touchdowns. That hasn't come to fruition. MVP, people are tossing around there on sub sites.
Wait, who's giving out Taysom Hill MVP?
For some of those outrageous numbers, you know what I mean?
The gleam in CJ's eye is amazing, Ryan. When he talks about some numbers.
Yeah, that deli, you wouldn't have enough paper in that deli machine for me to pull out the number I got on a Taysom Hill MVP. It is not in the single
Patreon.
digits.
We were just gonna open up CJ's pending bets and just walk through it, Ryan. That would, I don't know.
That'd be amazing.
That to be like a 2 or 3 parter. And also
that's a real personal thing to do.
CJ's gambling journey. If you're on the Patreon, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon, the bonus episode of SGP Story is dropping today.
The audio drops tonight. Video drops tomorrow.
Yes.
With the, there was a bunch of great stories there, but the story you told about the Preakness, the guy trying to fight the horse is amazing.
I was happy I could bring that into your guys' lives.
Yes. No, I saw Ryan
video clip. Right?
I saw Ryan doing some research on it.
I watched it again today with audio.
One of our favorite things are failed punches growing up. Like just like weak out of nowhere, especially when there's sneak punches. Like I referenced the Buddy Ryan punch to Kevin Gilbride, is a great one.
That's a great one.
Where it's just like brushes by. It's like, what? Yeah. You don't even understand what happened. Like, what happened? Did he just throw a punch at me?
Human horse one. You don't see that often.
Human versus horse is just incredible. An air ball whiff of a punch. Incredible. For the 1999 Preakness of syntax. Anyway, Taysom Hill anytime touchdown is plus 260.
That is a good price.
That's a number you're not going to find.
Wow.
I don't think, especially if he scores this week, rest of the season. Now that he's fully healthy and what they want to get him to. Well, and Kamara's banged up too.
Kamara banged up angle too.
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
A lot.
There's a lot going on there. So you got his first game back healthy, and this is a spirited game, if you will. And I love the Atlanta New Orleans game. I never picked
hate week,
but yeah, it is a hate week. So give me plus 260 Taysom Hill.
For me,
I saw that that was just instinctually. I went there immediately. It was like, all right,
Taysom Hill.
Put this one in my back pocket if I need it later.
It's an autoplay.
For me, this game should see a lot of passing. Everyone talking about the historic back-to-back games of Jaden Daniels and the Commanders' offense not punting. What they failed to mention is that they didn't force a punt as well against the Bengals.
Great point, Sean.
Kyler Murray over 230.5 passing yards. This is just soak this up. I mean, this is a nice piece of gravy and you got a biscuit. Kyler Murray over 230.5 passing yards. Burrow had 324. Mayfield had 289. I mean, the only one who went under it was Daniel Jones, but I mean, Jones only had 178, but
2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, maybe passing touchdowns is the way to go. I think yards, to me, there's a number of ways this gets home. So yeah, Kyler Murray over passing yards, 230.5. We'll talk Underdog. You can pair that with a bunch of stuff over on Underdog. Of course, that's higher on Underdog. Translate for you guys, but Kyler Murray passing yards. I just Ryan, like, you like the Cards this week, isn't this an auto?
I don't know what it is about Kyler. I always feel like I need to do the combo yards.
Oh, because you're worried like he's just going to scramble for a ton instead.
He's going to scamper around a bunch. Remember, he doesn't run; he scampers.
Yeah, he's #1 scamper in the league.
All right. So I gave out the CJ Stroud, the Freiermuth. Let's go. All right, another good. Let's go stick with the tight end. Another good tight end matchup. We were talking about the Rams earlier, and when you look at the teams that have really struggled to defend the tight end, the Bears pop in a couple different metrics. Colby Parkinson might be the #1 target in the offense in the passing game this week. I considered saving this for a ladder.
What was this? Because my ladder does involve the Rams passing, but a different option.
Interesting.
But I don't mind the Parkinson. I think besides DeMarcus Robinson,
the Parkinson, 29.
Is that a Brett Favre reference?
Yeah, 29.5.
All of a sudden he can't remember when they start. All of a sudden his brain doesn't work when they talk about. Did you receive these texts?
Right.
Knowing.
Whoa! That's his last Hail Mary.
Time to pray. Yeah. Time to break out the brain damage card.
This is his last Hail Mary. Tried.
Just very.
Let's see if this works.
Very. Suspect the timing announcing. The brain disease when they're pressing on you, whether or not you remember.
So great.
Getting the text about where the funds are coming from.
Let's not forget, guys. My brain is messed up. All right,
good time to play that card.
I did not know what I'm doing.
I saw Shannon and Ocho talking about that. I guess Shannon Sharp had a take, and Brett Favre sued him.
Right,
for
absolutely.
Defamation.
Sharp won that.
Yeah.
Sharp won that lawsuit.
Well, they threw.
So he must be in a victory lap right now.
He can still appeal if he wanted to, but maybe this.
He's got other problems.
Him calling it quits. So yeah, Colby Parkinson over 29.5 receiving yards. Again, that starting point makes the ladder very interesting because again, he could be the #1 target in the passing game. This is certainly the matchup to exploit. Put a star next to that one.
Yeah, I like it. CJ, or did you? How many have you given out? You give out 3?
I've given out 2.
2. Okay, so your third prop. What do you got?
Third prop. Let's go back to the. Let's go to. I'll stick with that game and do a little haterade. Go to take a page out of your notebook there. I don't give out too many unders. I like to give positivity out here. But
positive vibes only.
Yeah, let's go with an under. I was going to go with Rashad Johnson over, but there was no numbers for him out yet. But there are unders for DeAndre Swift. And DeAndre Swift is not the one they ordered. They ordered a Temu version of DeAndre Swift. The Bears got the dollar store DeAndre, and he is just absolutely broken. I mean, versus that horrendous Colts defense, rush defense last week, he only had 20 yards, like on 16 carries, and the clips have gone viral of what he's doing. He's running. It's like his controller is broken. He sees a wide open hole, and all of a sudden he'll go 90 degrees left into a linebacker's gut, head down. Like he just does not. I mean, he just does not look good. And the Bears have come out this week and they said, "Yeah, it's about time we give Rashad Johnson some looks." Yeah, meaning they're already done.
Time.
Yeah, they're already done with Swift. The Eagles conned another one. Someone tweeted out there, Eagles give out running backs like Miami Heat role players to other people. They just get contracts and they do nothing when they go away. So DeAndre Swift under 38.5 yards rushing. I don't think he's going to get the carries. You can do that as well. I think he gets single-digit carries, if anything. He hasn't come close to this number yet all year. He's been absolutely terrible, and he's not going to get the bulk of the carries. At least what he's had going for him before was he was getting the lion's share of the runnings. Now it's going to be Rashawn Johnson. It's going to be Khalil Herbert. It's even going to be Caleb and throwing the ball. So
yeah, no, they went out of their way to say,
right.
You know, I mean, assuming you can trust them there, or just eye test of what's been happening. It makes a ton of sense to switch it up there. I wish I could take an under on this guy, Christian McCaffrey, but unfortunately looks like he is going to be missing some time. I just mentioned it because the chat is all over me being all over and totally.
Is he going to be out for a while? Did I miss some news, Sean?
Apparently the German doctors said it didn't look good. So possibly
their stem cells didn't take.
Gonna miss a few months.
Are they playing a game in Germany? Why is he over there?
No,
he wasn't getting a head start for the Frankfurt game.
No, he was just
he was going to see Diddy's guy.
shopping some blood, finding the best blood around.
He's hanging out with Bieber.
Yeah.
Speaking of finding the best, have you guys signed up with BetUS? sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Make sure you use the promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. Get over there, get some deposit bonus. Take a trot over to the casino. It is America's favorite sportsbook, 30+ years in biz. US players welcome, and of course, 125% bonus on your first 3 deposit. Get a 10% gambler's insurance. Again, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Toss us a bone. So use our code. So they know we sent you. Live in-game wagering, bunch of good options on the NFL slate, and some of the best numbers I've found this season have been on BetUS. Always good to have that extra option so you can find the best price. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Not enough people are talking about you can run on this San Francisco 49ers team. I think a healthy, somewhat motivated Patriots team.
This is bold.
I'm going to take Ramondre Stevenson over 55.5 rushing yards. I realize it's the only thing they got going offensively, but you give Ramondre 20 carries, I think he's going to get 55 yards. And I was on it last Thursday night. That didn't happen. In hindsight, that was just a horrible situation spot. But he had and they only gave him 6 carries. They kind of just gave up game flow. And maybe they get behind and he doesn't get it. But I mean, the 2 games that they were in, he had 25 for 120 against Cincinnati and 21 for 81 against Seattle. And I do think you can run on the 49ers. You look at their stats, they are not great at defending the run so far this year, at least compared to previous years. And they just lost Javon Hargrave.
Yes, Javon Hargrave.
I think that interior is a little softer than people realize. Ramondre Stevenson over 55.5 rushing yards. Kramer, what do you got?
Gotta hope that Gibson doesn't get any of that work.
It is annoying if he steals.
Although Ramondre, I mean, if what you say is true, I think Ramondre won't have any trouble getting there. All right, prop number 4.
Shout out to Nate Milweski. He's a big CJ fan.
Yes.
Shout out in the chat there, CJ.
So again, CJ bringing his people to the show.
CJ bringing his goons to rough us up, right?
Yeah, seriously, gotta watch out.
Now it's the men in the box.
Yeah, I mean, no. I'm not in anyone's box. Don't worry.
I got killed for that last show for plugging my guys in the chat room.
Here we go.
I don't want to bring it in there, but I did plug this show on the bombs. I said,
Ryan, look at this. Degenerates stand up. The revolution started. We're getting overthrown from our own podcast network.
Let's hopefully they don't find Colby's guys don't find CJ's guys.
Well, then we're really in trouble. They gang up. It's gonna be a mutiny on the ship.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like the gang fight.
It was smart of you guys to split our shows.
You became too powerful.
All right, I got what it is.
Yep, like the phone company. All right,
Bell. Colby Bell. We got to break it up.
System play. For some reason, they juiced the Mike Evans anytime touchdown price up to plus 135 this week. Going against the Eagles, he's had some success scoring touchdowns recently.
Mike Evans?
Last game, got in the end zone.
Mike Evans? Have you heard of a boy named Quinyon Mitchell, Ryan?
Jesus.
Dude.
I mean, I like your confidence, but he's not locking down Mike Evans.
He's also
wait till Sunday comes.
What do you mean? Wait till Sunday?
You said his price got juiced.
It's plus 135.
He's been banged up a bit.
That's fine.
Okay, just saying.
Oh my goodness. Chris Godwin coming off a massive game. We followed this Bucs team long enough to know they zig and zag. Evans hasn't scored since the first game of the season.
Quinyon Mitchell and Darius Slay established a no-fly zone in New Orleans. A lot of people were saying Derek Carr MVP. Oh, this offense.
You're being
down.
You're being disrespectful to Mike Evans right now.
Mike Evans is good, but
oh my god,
Quinyon Mitchell, no TDs for Mike Evans. I'm gonna play the no on that, Ryan.
Who was he guarding last week?
Everyone,
Shaheed,
all over the field.
Good for you.
Yeah, look at what Shaheed did before.
Yeah, Mike Evans a different kind of the receiver. You know this.
All right, CJ.
Wow,
what do you got?
Sean's acting like he doesn't know ball.
I do. I'm just saying you're. I don't think you realize how good Quinyon Mitchell is.
Okay, he's a rookie, and Mike Evans is the fucking GOAT.
Yes. All right, I'll stick with that game, the Eagles Tampa Bay game, which is a banged up game, and I will also go with an under for Tampa Bay.
Oh, whoa!
But it's very similar to my idea.
Thought we talked about positive vibes.
Well, I know, but I like the negative. I like coming on here. I got a revenge and negative. Everything's and I would have won higher, like again, but they wouldn't give me a number for the backup. It's very similar to the DeAndre Swift situation. I'm going Rashad White under 38.5 rushing yards.
Oh, this is CJ's guy.
The writing's on the wall. It's Bucky Irving.
You've been a Bucky Irving advocate.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it because you're right. Like Todd Bowles said, Bucky Irving had earned more opportunity.
It's right there in the game film. I mean, it's ridiculous that run, not just that one run where he ran around for 6 yards, to only get 6 yards, but I mean, he's just produces. He's better. I was up in the Oregon area preseason. I got all the Bucky Irvin hype I could handle, and I was told just get as many shares as you can of him. And Rashad White, they've been waiting for someone to replace him. The only reason why he's had his job is just because he's by default. He's the only one there, and they finally have someone worthy of not just spelling him, but taking over his role. I think it's gonna be a huge Bucky Irving game. You can obviously run Philadelphia. Rashad White cannot, though, under 38.5.
This is like when Colby goes and talks to the Mountain West coaches and then loves every team in the Mountain West. Gotta be careful.
I do have a lot of Portland State futures I got in there. And I was told Neil Lomax is the famous alumni for Portland State, but I was told to watch out for them this year.
I got an under. For you to close out my 5 here before we get to the ladder, the Degen parlay and our underdog entry. Jerry Judy under 43.5 receiving yards. I mean, have you watched the Cleveland Browns passing offense?
Great, really good, really hard.
Sure.
I mean, Judy is 27-73. He did have that one game against the Jags. I still don't know how he got 73, but as we know, the Jags defense is just god awful. And then 25. Now you have a hungry Raiders defense that I do think at the very least Antonio Pierce is going to get a better effort out of that defense. Max Crosby against that Browns offensive line. I like that matchup. I don't think they're going to have a ton of time to throw, and Stefanski is desperate to establish any sort of running game. Whatever you can do to get the ball out of Deshaun Watson's hands.
Sean,
yes,
sack ladder maybe for the Veasan show.
Oh, for Crosby, yes.
I'm not touching Deshaun Watson.
Neither am I. And Jerry Judy under 43.5 receiving yards. Smash it.
Love it.
Smash!
All right.
Kramer, 5th prop.
Last
what do you got?
one, maybe my favorite, and one that I'm definitely going to be finding a way to get involved with a ladder. So last week, Sean, Aaron Jones receiving yards prop was 32.5. He had 46 yards. And now ask me what his line is this week.
What's his line this week, Ryan?
21.5.
What?
Revenge spot.
Revenge.
The pack. One of the weakness. We have to eat a little crow. The Packers defense has been good, but one of the weaknesses has been defending the running backs.
Yeah,
in the pass game. Aaron Jones. This is like tailor made for Aaron Jones to have a game here. Why is this only 21.5 receiving yards?
I mean, Aaron Jones 3 touchdowns with the Vikings parlay. That is pretty interesting.
Let's just wait till the Degen parlay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't mean to take your hand.
I mean, come on.
CJ?
You remember that time that he won 45-1 Aaron Jones? I needed 3 touchdowns. He got us 4.
Yeah, I love Aaron.
I'll
Jones
never forget that.
Some revenges are real. And Aaron Jones is definitely real.
You know what's fucked
and
up?
Because the fans love him too, and that's why they're going to. He's going to do it for the show.
That win,
the Packers fans love him.
Was so impactful on my life. I whenever I think about Aaron Jones, I have a visual of what, like, basically I was getting out of a car to go pick up my daughter from a park from a soccer practice, watching it on my phone when it happened. And I have a visual of this park forever imprinted in my memory when thinking like, oh man, 45-1, 3 touchdowns. Fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
I love Aaron Jones. His rushing prop's only 57.5 too, but he also easily gets in the end zone. Can you already see him doing the Lambeau leap to those fans that love him and in the end zone? I mean, there's no doubt that's happening. 100%. That moment's happening. He's getting in the end zone. That just missed my list. I can parry off that.
I see Degenerate is helping build you some Degen.
Whoa,
yeah, Aaron Jones 2 touchdowns, Bucky Irving 2 touchdowns. Who says no?
As I say in the chat room, the men in the box there in the chat room. See, Degenerates know how to whip up a Degen parlay for me. That is a beautiful one. I'm not going with that. I can AT parry off that one, and because there's a double revenge. There's Aaron Jones. There's so much revenge, and this helps your play of your Judy under. The Amari Cooper revenge angle I love versus the Raiders because it's not the team that wanted him like Dallas. It's the team that didn't want him, and that's the Raiders.
I like that.
Who wound up drafting, but then they shipped him off, and in the middle when it was kind of controversial when it happened.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you who did not forget about it. And that's Amari Cooper, and he will be the only one.
He's the only fantasy viable guy, and even him is like,
it's dicey, but I like this game. I think
it's in the dome,
and it's in the dome. I think the Browns do have a bounce back spot here, actually, in Vegas. I'm not picking a side. I'm just saying both teams are going to play well.
What do you got?
51.5 is his receiving yards for Amari Cooper. There's a lot of ways you can attack it. Longest reception is also a good way to go with him, but I think he clears 51.5. Amari Cooper. No problem.
If anyone gets anything, it's going to be Amari Cooper. Hey, we got our ladders coming up, our Degen parlay, and of course our underdog entry. Speaking of underdog, use that promo code SGPN. Get you a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. In the office, sitting around every day, Ryan is like, "Did you see this? Did you see the profit boost they put in my account?" Ryan thinks he's special, but everyone gets all these.
I thought it was a mistake.
He goes, "They messed up on my account."
It's 1,000.
You're a whale. That's
I got massive 1,000. I mean, yeah. I don't want to get myself into trouble, so I'm not going to say how much it is.
He doesn't think the promo boosts are safe to talk about on air. That's how good they are, people.
Yes.
UnderdogFantasy.com promo code SGPN.
To close up the Deshaun Watson stuff, I did want to alert people, if you haven't listened to the NFL Pick Show yet, one of the chapters we've been dabbling with using AI to help us with chapters, and one of the chapters was Deshaun Watson's Vegas Temptations. What does AI know? It's read all the legal docs. It knows a little bit more than us.
That's some good summer reading right there. It's spicy on the beach. You're on the beach. With that.
Flight. That's a good flight across the country.
Yeah, I like that book.
Oh yeah.
Ladder time.
Yeah.
Yes, time for us to get the stick, aka grab some ladders, everyone.
Wow.
Most of these teams are still good. All right, so do you want to go first, Sean?
Sure. My division winner right there, Seattle.
Seattle
plus 750. I don't care if they win division. I got the CLV because they're plus 180 now.
Yeah, you feel good.
Yeah.
Get that listed on one of those exchanges, CJ. You'll be good. All right, so for my ladder here, this is interesting. I like to find a little value. This is a guy I was on for the VSiN show. Anytime touchdown, didn't get there, but I still like his potential. And that is a receiver for the Los Angeles Rams, Jordan Whittington.
Yes.
I know Tutu Atwell had a big game, but you look at his numbers, they're way higher than Whittington.
Yeah.
I think they should kind of be similar, especially if we're playing the long shot outcome. Now, week 2 in Arizona, he was 2 for 22. In the week 1 against the Lions, he had a touchdown that was called back. He had a 22-yard catch in the 2 for 22 is essentially a 22-yard catch. He's had 15-yard catches, 3 for 28. You look at the Bears. You look at the matchup against the Texans. Nico Collins went 8 for 135. I could see one of these receivers going off, and I would rather just roll the dice on Whittington being the guy, because I think everyone kind of saw what Tutu did. I don't hate playing Tutu, but I think the price you're going to get on Jordan Whittington, once I reveal the prices, are pretty bonkers. So for a guy they're calling Puka Nacua 2.0, 44 receiving yards plus 243, 54 receiving yards 413, 64 receiving yards plus 727, 74 receiving yards 1334, 84 receiving yards 2582. If you opened up your USA Today on Monday morning and you saw a little blurb, it wouldn't even be a giant headline. It would just be a tiny blurb that said Rams rookie receiver has 85 receiving yards. That's how they do things in Los Angeles. They figured out 12 personnel that works. Alec Pierce had a 44-yard catch against this Bears team. This Bears team, there are bad vibes all around. 85 receiving yards is very doable for Jordan Whittington. Give it to me all day. Kramer.
Wow.
All right. I like that.
Thank you.
I was, as I mentioned, I was digging into the DVOA numbers earlier today.
You sick freak.
And something else that stood out to me is, how impressive aspects of the Bills defense have been. But one of the areas where they also have struggled is defending the running back in the passing game. In walk the Baltimore Ravens, who just got the running game going with Derrick Henry, the offensive line looking a lot better. Well,
Justice Hill?
I'm going to Justice Hill. They just signed to a little mini extension, and classic Ravens move: lock up a guy for a couple years, reasonable price. And for considering how much Derrick Henry has not looked like he has pop, Justice Hill has all the pop. 12.5 yards receiving is -110. Then we jump up to 24.5. We get over that, it's plus 225. 39.5 plus 510, and just to get 50 yards or more, Sean, 10-1.
What? What?
It seems ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Now, so far this year, the Bills have let up 6 for 64 to the Cardinals, 9 for 81 to the Dolphins, and 4 for 17 to the Jags. Perhaps a bit of an outlier due to the lack of effort from the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it sounds like CJ, is that the sound of you now needing to go get a ladder?
No, I'm just frustrated that this is why I don't bring my laptop into the shows, because now I'm going to empty my account on these amazing bets and props and ladders you have. 50 yards, Justice Hill. I mean, 10-1. That's crazy.
And all right. So I pulled up the source. So if we get over 60, if we get 63 or more yards, Sean, that's 24-19. So over 24-1. That's doable. It's already happened against them.
Not just a couple screens too, let alone an absolute game plan about it.
That's unreal. Let's get rich, CJ.
CJ,
all right.
Everyone loves your big ladder release.
Whoa. Jesus Christ, Sean.
This is what the fans want.
Yeah,
YouTube is censoring
Unsheath
us.
the ladder.
It's already been spicy with the Deshaun Watson Vegas Heat, whatever books and novels, and we're gonna go out to that desert though. Speaking of fire ladders and put out some of these wildfires, that Arizona, like you were saying, that Arizona Washington game is just going to be absolute. I mean, there's just no defense on either side. It's not just Washington. Arizona, before Washington trumped them with having the worst defense football, everyone came in like Arizona had an historically bad defense and a good offense. I mean, I see at least 60 points going on. This is just going to be one of those games. And I think Arizona.
Go off, kid.
I love Arizona in this game too as well.
Yes.
But let's get into that passing game. I know you're into Kyler Murray, a ridiculously low number. Trey McBride, is he out now officially? He doesn't look like he's trending towards playing.
Most folks don't play, but I'll double check.
I'm fine with him being out because I like that slot receiver, Greg Dortch. who comes in there.
Dortch is a good value here too.
Greg Dortch is a great
McBride
value
did not
here.
practice today,
Yes.
meaning he's most likely not going to play.
Fantastic. That's perfect for me. So Greg Dortch, Greg Dortch has been trying to pop for the last couple of weeks, and he's had a couple good matchups, not really exploited. Last week, I thought he was going to pop, so maybe it was a week early. That whole Detroit game was just kind of weird with them. They didn't play. The whole team didn't play good. That whole second half was just kind of mucking it up. This week they're going to explode. The Greg Dortch, we're starting off low, the first rung, just to get the ladder off the truck, just to set it down before we prop it up. That's at 35.5 yards.
Okay.
You know, that's no
Like it.
yeah. So let's skip a few rungs in here because we're looking at, because obviously Marvin Harrison has become the alpha there. Michael Wilson, we want him to be something, but I think
He's nice.
Yeah, he is nice. He's more of your possession. Greg Dortch
Almost 2 touchdowns
on the
weekend.
sideline can go deep, and 75 yards will pop right up to that is plus 388. Now if we're gonna look. Obviously we looked at to get $100, like you're saying. Just need
Oh yeah, come on.
quick little blurb at USA Today. It's in the box score. You wouldn't even notice it. I like that.
Flying under the radar.
'Cause that reminds me of the fantasy football days when we would get
You manually calculate.
Had to be in the box score for it to count.
cut out. It would be cut out and mailed to you. The box score of the USA Today. All right, 95 yards for Greg Dortch, or 85 yards. I'll go that wrong because we need to get to the roof. Plus 575 for 85 yards for Greg Dortch. One more rung up there, 95 yards. Just pull your hand up, help yourself up. Plus 872 on Bet Online. We're not even at 100 yards yet for a game where Washington, mind you, has not had a team punt since the Giants.
I know, it's insane.
It's absolutely fucking crazy. All right, now let's get to the Jack and the Beanstalks. We're swatting at drones at 105 yards for Greg Dortch. Plus 1352. That's 13.5 to 1 to get 105 yards for Greg Dortch. And now the Jack and the Beanstalk. How high does this ladder go? One more extra rung. You're going through the clouds. It's just me. It's just me and the airplanes at this point.
And Diddy.
And Diddy just gets in there at all times. 115 yards.
Wow. Career day for Greg Dortch.
Career day for Greg
Yeah, but I
Dortch.
like it.
A lot of career numbers coming up. Plus 2155.
What?
All right. I will say Washington is 31st defending the slot receiver.
Yeah. I mean, any sort of passing metric, they are horrific in.
All right.
I believe that.
Nice work.
All right. Closing out.
Nice work.
Degen parlay underdog entry for me. All right. Let's see if I can actually.
You want me to go first? Because mine's simple.
Yeah. Why
It's
don't you
very
go first,
simple.
Ryan? Okay.
Two players.
Okay.
Technically, 4 things have to happen.
So let me guess: 2 guys, 2 touchdowns each,
Yes.
parlayed together.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And remember last week, my anytime touchdown parlay, I had some chalk and then I had the long shots. The 2 long shots hit.
Yeah.
Everything else missed.
Right.
Well, this week
Adam Thielen would have got the
Oh,
second touchdown.
he would
Ryan.
have. Run that back. Run the simulations on that. Run the hit up that Rufus Peabody. See if you can run some simulations for him. How you would have won.
His hamstring came off the bone. He would have had that other one.
If not for that injury variance, I would have won. All right, 2 guys. Aaron Jones revenge spot, 2 touchdowns, 9 to 1.
Very easy.
Over on FanDuel. Travis Kelce. People starting to wonder. Travis Kelce shows up in an easy win for them, 2 touchdowns, which shockingly is 15 to 1.
Wow.
Just that 167 to 1, plus 16700. Sean, please call the accountant and make sure we have a position on that for the weekend. It's on FanDuel, both those prices.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Wait, should CJ and I put the glasses on? Or something crazy?
There might be some shrapnel. So Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I said he was desperate.
Okay.
Maybe he gets 1 rushing touchdown. What if he gets his first rushing touchdown?
Okay.
Then they're running it up. Chase Brown gets tackled at the 1. And QB sneak. You got 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Now that's a great leg of a parlay because that's already 50 to 1. Joe Burrow 2 touchdowns. Now let's go into this game played in a dome, so touchdown's going to be flying all over the place. The Steelers, since they've only had 2 receiving touchdowns, since they only have 2 receiving touchdowns, you get some great prices. Calvin Austin responsible for 50% of the receiving touchdowns.
Yes.
What if he gets 2 touchdowns? Is
Oh,
that crazy?
wow.
Not
What if?
crazy. Not crazy.
Could
Not
be a
crazy.
career.
That's not crazy. That's a career.
Calvin
That's a good
Austin,
line.
2 touchdowns. That's 110 to 1. So these are pretty strong parlays in and of themselves. Voltron that together. $100 wins you $500,000.
What?
$6,000.
So how many things have to happen?
Well, you could look at it either 2 or 4.
All right.
4.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns. 2 from Joe Burrow.
4
2
things
from
have
Calvin
to
Austin.
happen.
Wait,
And
2 from Burrow.
$500,000.
Yeah. How do I get $1 million? Burrow. What am I doing?
2 touchdowns.
Filming
Burrow,
all these damn
2
documentaries.
touchdowns. Calvin Austin.
Hunter gets you $500,000.
$500,000.
Wow.
Let's go.
Well, you really went from like I'm being cute to like, hey, hold my beer.
Yeah, right. What's going on here? So that's 500 to 1.
No, that's
Or 5,000.
5,000 to 1.
5,000.
5,600 to 1.
Right.
My
Right.
God.
Oh.
All right. No big deal, CJ. What do you got?
Try and top it,
Yeah.
CJ.
Why would you not let the guest go first?
I thought I know. I thought I was coming in
My
strong,
God.
and I mean,
My-
this is,
All right.
Maroon.
Basically, just made the biggest parlay you could possibly make. You're up, CJ.
All right, we're at the audible a little bit. We're starting off with Dortch, 115 yards.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, we're not. I don't like to mix those bets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you don't want
get
to
you.
overlay.
I was just joking. I was just with the audible. I have to get 1,000 to 1 apparently.
Yeah.
No, mine is 635 to 1.
Oh my God. So I'm the pussy this
Yep.
week.
Kind of. But I am taking a page out of your book there, but I'm making it a little more reasonable. This is just 1 touchdown, 4 players. You guys went 2 touchdowns.
Oh, interesting.
You guys
Okay.
went 2 players, 2 touchdowns each. 4 players, 1 touchdown each. Let's
Okay.
not get too greedy here. And we're doing a double game situation, 2 games. That's why you don't have to lock in 2 games, 2 late
perfect.
games, right?
Keep your focus.
Keep your focus. I like your Travis Kelce. Too much smack talk about Travis Kelce. This is how he started off last year. And I'm not saying he's back, but he will get a touchdown in this game. Plus 160 for that. No problem. That's your low hang. He's the one that's not going to hit. But I've always talked about the anti Travis Kelce bump. The tight end that faces Travis Kelce has a big game. Chiefs this year against tight end has been absolutely horrendous.
Oh no! What do you
Isaiah Likely. This is just anytime touchdown. Chargers, you get great value to tight end. Hayden Hurst is 7 to 1.
What?
For an anytime
Oh,
touchdown.
I might have to steal that for Beast,
Yeah,
CJ. That's great.
Toss that in
It's
there.
a great angle.
Right. So the anti Kelce, they want to show up. Even Taylor's there, whatever it is. Anyway, the tight ends are lighting up Kansas City
This stacks well with Kelce 2 touchdowns. I like this
for sure. So we'll go Hayden Hurst 7 to 1, Kelce plus 160. Now we go over to the other game, that Raiders Browns game. We're gonna lock in that Brock Bowers. He's at plus 260, which is he's becoming the actual Travis Kelce of this NFL. He's maybe the I mean, I'd put him as 1 or 2 tight end right now playing in football. Now we're not going to go with the Browns tight end, who is because I don't even know if Njoku is going to play or not, and they won't put up a number.
CJ, we got some activity in the chat. Nate wondering, I missed the white angle release. Does Hayden Hurst qualify as a white angle release?
Well, no,
it's kind of gingery. I'll be honest.
That's for sure, but there's certain rules about white angle releases. They can't be tight ends because that's something we have on lockdown. You can't be full.
Come on, dude.
Fullbacks are pushing it already with their college music, but it's got to be a skilled player.
They need to be gentrified.
Yeah.
They need to be taking over undiscovered territory.
It's got to be a skilled player like a Braxton Berrios or something like that, where they take a bad white angle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Continue.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. Brock Bowers, though, he's definitely an H-back kind of a
receiver. He's almost a white angle
right.
guy.
He's got the glasses. He looks like an old white man. That's for sure. But he's in there as a tight end. And now to mix up the tight end, just because his odds are plus 750, a man who is the number 2 wide receiver ahead of Jerry Judy in this game, Cedric Tillman, who's a fantastic rookie. He had a big drop, in that Giants game last week. They've tried to pick him up. Judy had encouraging words for him. Watson had encouraging words. They've been talking about all week how they trust in Cedric Tillman. Anytime they need someone to bring someone's confidence back up, they like to go to him early, get him a touchdown. He doesn't have to be the game plan doesn't have to be based on him, but a touchdown at plus 750 for any time for the number 2 wideout on this game, which I like in a dome, touchdowns whipping around. It is definitely a number. All 4 of them to score a touchdown, 635 to 1 plus.
Oh, there we go. CJ, you salty dog.
It's no 5,000, but it's.
I actually just made a quick update to mine.
Oh, come on, Ryan. What do you got?
Well, I have. You know what? We'll stick. Let's
hear the update. Come on.
We'll stick with the update.
CJ, what's the update?
Yeah, right. I got still some bonus money I got to get on my account here.
Okay. Well, then if you must, we're gonna pop back to Colby Parkinson. We add him to score 2 touchdowns to what I told you earlier. Colby Parkinson 41 to 1 for 2 touchdowns. Now your $100 pays you $705,500. So Aaron Jones, Travis Kelce, Colby Parkinson, all 2 touchdowns.
Love it.
For $700K.
And also Kelce does own the Chargers in LA too, especially. I've been.
He's had 2 touchdowns in 2 of the last 4 games. Had 3 in one of them. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? All right, time for our underdog entry. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code SGPN. I will be firing on one of my 30% profit boosts. I got sitting right here in the queue,
flexing on everyone.
Well, Ryan, you might. I know you don't like to talk about what you have in your account.
I don't want. I'm not doing anything wrong over here. I'm not doing anything wrong over here.
CJ, what do you got first? What do you toss out? Something you want to put in the underdog entry? Maybe it's something you gave out during the props portion of the show. This is obviously discussing fantasy projections.
Right.
Yeah.
I like sticking with his running back lower.
Okay.
Hater, I read, and somebody just popped up on the injury report today, and that is Bijan Robinson.
Oh,
they already were splitting carries. Algier seems like he was getting a little more carries. I know he's your guy anyway.
And
I'm upgrading the Falcons if that's the case.
I love this because Atlanta is missing 2 of their interior offensive linemen, so that's a great angle. 75.5 lower on Bijan Robinson.
Yes.
Love that.
Okay,
Kramer, what do you got?
Well, I mean, we should. Do we want to stay in that game and just play the Taysom Hill? We've been talking about.
He has been getting a lot of chatter.
Love him.
It was that. I mean, it's almost a system play. Although
we don't have any Taysom Hill numbers.
Cowards. I mean, how can you not project him? He's very easy to project. All right, so why don't we hop over to let's go back to that Washington Arizona game.
Okay.
Do they have? Let's just do Marvin Harrison.
Oh, okay. Now he popped up on the injury report. Should be fine.
Oh, I think that's a fake injury. I think that's it. I'm really good at football injury.
Do you like his receiving yards, Ryan? What are we going here?
It's only 67.5. How does this
against Washington? Yeah, they couldn't stop a cold.
I mean, Marvin Harrison is one of the better receivers in the league so far this year. So after everyone called him slow, they should cancel that GPS.
I mean, honestly, Harrison, Wilson, Dortch, any of those Cardinal receivers, they're all going to hit. I mean, it's ridiculous. There's no better matchup for wide receivers than playing this Washington Commanders team.
What do you got, Sean?
I think I just go to now. This was an angle I picked up from the Degen doc with Eckler out. I think the no yak Zach 3 catches feels pretty good in that game as well.
Okay.
Kramer, you in?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean they Kingsbury brought Ertz in specifically just to catch passes and fall to the ground.
Yeah. So with a nice 30% profit boost,
saving that for
added on here, we got no yak Zach higher 3 receptions. We got Marvin Harrison higher 67.5 receiving yards, and Bijan Robinson lower 75.5. $100 kicks you back $750 with the 30% profit boost. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code SGPN.
I threw in my gimme pick, Sean.
Oh wow, Ryan.
No big deal.
I haven't used my gimme pick. Those are fun as well. Although they did curse Aaron Rodgers with their gimme pick. You gotta love
Patrick Mahomes.
That was amazing.
That was so great.
So I basically threw those 3 and then Mahomes higher a half yard. No big deal.
Great show as always. Make sure you subscribe to Bottom Line Bombs with CJ Sullivan, aka the man in the box, aka the laddie daddy. Check us out tomorrow night, VSiN, 8:00 Pacific, 11:00 East. More picks, more action, more touchdown bets, some bonus ladders. We got and tons of ladder chatter. Good times as always. Degen.University. Get your applications in. Check out the merch store and toss us. We're trying to get some more Spotify ratings. So if you listen on Spotify, or even if you don't, you probably got Spotify already on your phone. Toss us 5 stars. We appreciate that.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, Stacking the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Pregame show Sunday morning, 9 a.m.
Kramer. Let it ride.